We are witnessing more and more conservative support for federal programs involving our local police. All these programs will supposedly solve the problems we see in the major cities around the country. It's time to question if these programs are needed and how it fits into the communist agenda. Let's look at it from another angle. Both the tortoise and the hare had the same goal of winning the race. Let's look at it from the angle of both having the same political goal. For instance, the idea of nationalizing our local police into a national police and then placing them under the jurisdiction of the United Nations. This is the end goal of the communists. The hare represents the Marxists and is very open about what he wants. He wants to race right to the goal with the defunding of local police and placing the local police under federal or even international regulation. It's open. It's overt. The tortoise, who represents the Republicans, wants the same thing but approaches the goal with patient gradualism and the appearance of being helpful and benign in his intent. The tortoise points out the obvious problems in the major cities of rising crime, murder rates, releasing criminals on the streets, etc., and proposes a gradual solution of using the federal government to provide money for cities to hire more police, for the federal government to provide equipment for local police. Indeed, there is a call by the hare for complete revision of policing in the United States, but the tortoise is not willing to do that. He only wants a federal law reforming the police. And the story goes on, where the fast hare wants radical change and the tortoise wants a slower method to arrive at the same solution in the long run. Government always grows. There is no exception. That is why our founders fashioned a constitution only giving so much power to the federal government, with the remainder to remain with the states and the people. It did not give the power of policing to the federal government. Any regulation by the federal government over local policing will ultimately grow into full control. The hare, of course, is the Marxist in our country. The tortoise is the Republicans who, either out of conspiratorial design or ignorance, do not see where giving any power over local policing will ultimately lead to federal control and nationalization of our police. Do not believe for an instant that there are not Republicans who are just as Marxist as the radical Republicans. They just hide it better.